What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where we talk all things money, real estate, and entrepreneurship. And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you why I think Vegas is the best place to live and run your business. So this whole video idea started from Instagram. I had posted about all the places I lived when I was playing professional baseball. And I basically said, I've lived almost everywhere, I've traveled almost everywhere, and none of it can compare to Las Vegas, and I'll never move. And I had a lot of people ask me to explain on that. What makes Vegas so great? Why don't you ever want to move? So I figured I would make a YouTube video on this subject. So let me start off by saying I am extremely biased. I was born here, I was raised here, I went to school here, all my friends are here, all my family is here. So for that reason alone, I will never leave. But even looking at it from an objective point of view, there's a ton of reasons why I think Vegas is great for anyone. And as I said before, my point of view comes from not only being biased from living here and growing up here, but also traveling everywhere. Just off the top of my head, here are all the places I've lived while I was playing baseball. Southern California, Northern California, Phoenix, Anchorage, Alaska, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Vancouver, Canada, Winnipeg, Canada, Fargo, North Dakota, Dallas, Texas, New Jersey, Iowa, and I'm sure there are a couple more, I just can't even think of them. But those are just the places I actually lived. I had an apartment or I had a host family, and I got to know the cities and the people there. And while I was living in those cities, we would go travel to all the cities around it and play against the teams in those cities. So I think I've been to almost every state. I've got to see what most of the cities across the country are like, including other countries like Canada. So I have a pretty good perspective of someone who's been around, not somebody who's just only lived in Vegas and knows nothing else. So that being said, let's talk about why I think Vegas is great for anyone, especially entrepreneurs. Let's talk about the business side first. On the business side, you have no state income tax. That is a really big deal, obviously. If I was to do the exact same thing I do in Vegas, in California, I'd pay an extra 13% on my income. I'm not down with that. If you make $100,000 a year, that's $13,000 you're throwing away. If you make $1 million, you're talking about $130,000. I can go live on $130,000. I'm not trying to go pay it to California. There's a reason people are moving to Nevada and Texas and these places with no state income tax, because there's a lot of opportunity and you get to keep more of the money you make. As far as investing goes, it's another great place, especially for real estate. The population is constantly growing because we're getting people from California, people from Hawaii, people from all over the country. And when there are a lot of people coming in, that means prices are gonna go up. They cannot build homes fast enough to accommodate all the people that wanna move here. And you've seen it in the last 10 years, prices have gone up like crazy every single year. Our population continues to grow, and I think more people are gonna come here. There are a lot of people who are scared because of the pandemic and what's gonna happen to the Strip and all those jobs. And yes, I think temporarily it's gonna be rough. In the long run, I don't see Vegas going anywhere. I see it continuing to grow. And along with appreciation on the real estate, it is still affordable. The cost to live in Vegas is so cheap compared to other metro cities. A house in Vegas is half the price of a house in LA. Same thing with Seattle, Portland, New York. These places are expensive to live in, yet Vegas is a big city and it's super cheap. And I know there's a lot of people who are saying, man, it's getting so expensive now. Yes, we've had appreciation, but relative to these other major cities, it is really cheap. And not only is the real estate still affordable, but everything's affordable. There are cheap places to eat, the gas is cheaper. There's so many different options on things that you can do and get a good price. So I think the affordability is a huge factor. On top of that, as far as real estate investing goes, I believe it is one of the best places to invest. And a lot of that has to do with the age of the homes. The homes in Vegas are much newer and need less work. But when I tell people what our renovation costs are, they're stunned because they can't believe it is so cheap compared to other places. And they forget that other places have to have full remodels. The homes are so old that you have to replace all the electrical, all the plumbing, all the drywall. Everything must go because you're dealing with a home that's 100 years old. But everything is fairly new here in this city. And that's a big reason why the iBuyers are all here in Phoenix, because the homes are very similar, they're a lot newer. You can get away with just doing paint and carpet and still have a good product. So if you want to get into house flipping or wholesaling, it's a great market because your renovation costs are going to be much cheaper That means you can turn the properties quicker and you have less risk when your renovation costs are lower. Time out, guys, I got a quick announcement. But before we get into the next thing, let me tell you something really quick. If you're looking to get started in real estate investing, I've got a lot of great content on this channel that is going to help you out. But if you really want to get started and really take it to the next level as fast as possible, I want to highly encourage you guys to go to futureflipper.com. You can find it in the description below, but we have a ton of different resources no matter what your experience level is, no matter what your budget is, we can help you out. You can get my book for free, you can get my contracts for free, you can get my online course, and you can even be directly coached by me. And if you're not sure what's best for you, you can actually apply and my membership director will get in touch with you and go over the different options that are best for you. So if you're interested in that, all you gotta do is go to futureflipper.com. Now back to the video. As far as the business side and the investment side go, I think there are a ton of great reasons why Vegas is good. And those are a lot of the reasons why there are so many companies moving here. Honestly, if you're an online company or a virtual company, I see no reason why you should be in a California or in New York. It makes no sense to pay a state income tax if the majority of your business is online. I understand it if you're an actor and you need to be in Hollywood to collaborate with other actors and do that stuff. Or a YouTuber or a TikToker and you gotta be near everyone. I get it. If you're a Wall Street person and you gotta be near all those companies, I get it in New York. But the majority of people today are not like that. As we all know from this pandemic, most businesses are going virtual in some type of way. And I think you're gonna see a lot of businesses flee those big cities and come to places like Vegas. Now that we've covered a lot of the business aspects, let's talk about the lifestyle aspects. Number one is the weather. There are a lot of people who say, dude, the weather in Vegas sucks, it's really hot. But personally, I like the dry heat. I think it's fine. And I also think the winters are fine. It's not super cold. Is it California? No. It's nice being in California when it's 80 degrees every day, I get it. But I think it's the second best thing. I've lived in Dallas, where the summers are 100 plus and the humidity is crazy. I'm not down with that. Humidity in Florida is too crazy for me. And I've been in the Midwest where the winters are just stupid. You can't even go outside without freezing. I'm not trying to deal with all the snow and not be able to do things year round. Even though it may not be California weather, I think it's the next best thing. The other thing I love is the proximity to everything, both locally and nationally. So locally, the city is actually not that big. You could get from one end of Vegas to the other in like 30 minutes. It's way smaller than you think. And we're actually really spoiled out here in Vegas because anytime I gotta drive 20 minutes, I'm getting mad. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can go. 20 minutes is pretty far out. And then California people are like, dude, are you crazy? 20 minutes is the closest drive we've ever had. You could go 10 miles in California and it takes you 2 hours. I just couldn't imagine that kind of traffic and how much it limits your productivity just driving. I wanna make every hour of my day count, and I cannot do that if I'm driving 2 to 3 hours a day. So the proximity locally is amazing. And it's really good for real estate because now we can buy everywhere in Vegas. It's super easy for us to go check out any property anywhere in town. When you're in other places like California where it takes you a long time to get from point A to point B, you can't do that because your whole day will be gone checking on multiple properties. You'd really have to just key in on one specific area. I think one of the big reasons we're able to flip 100 plus homes a year is because Vegas is so small. As far as nationally, Vegas has the cheapest flights in and out everywhere. You can always get a direct flight. It's always gonna be cheap because they want people coming to the Strip. It's a place people visit from all over. So anytime I have to leave here, it's super convenient and it's super easy, it's super affordable. I don't think you can find a better place for travel. Lastly, as far as entertainment goes, there's so much to do. We all know about the Strip and all the shows and all the food and everything you can do down there. It can get you into trouble, obviously, but the option is there. But what people don't know is there's so many things just outside of Vegas that are awesome. You can go an hour away to Mount Charleston where you can hike and snowboard. You can go to Red Rock, which has great trails to hike and bike. If you got an ATV or a UTV, there's tons of desert to go off-roading. If you want to go to the lake, Lake Mead's only an hour away. So even though it may seem like we don't have nature with the desert, nature is not far away and we're still able to enjoy those things. As far as lifestyle goes, there's a ton of reasons I love Vegas. Those are just a few of them. And I should mention, yes, our school system is not the greatest. I went through the public school system and my wife was a teacher at the public school system. I know what our rankings are and I know the reputation. But as somebody who grew up here and went through it, and as somebody who's got kids and is going to put them through it, I'm personally not worried about it. But I've got an unpopular opinion about education that I'll probably have to share in another video. But I essentially believe it's not the school system. it's typically the parent and the kid. If you want me to make a video on that, I will. Just make sure you leave a comment below so I know that there's enough people that want to see it. Anyways, in conclusion, if you are looking for a new place to live, a new place to run your business, obviously I recommend Vegas, and I hope I convinced you that it is a great place. If you agree or disagree, or you think another city's better, leave it in the comments below. I want to hear what cities I'm not thinking about and why they're so good. And if you got value out of this video, do me a big favor, go hit that like button. If you haven't already, go hit that subscribe button and follow me on all my socials. And until next time, take care.